Hey, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. My name is George. This is the Model Railroad Show, and today we're going to talk a little bit about water. Alright, so what's up? Welcome back. Quite a few comments on the videos where I've shown the river scenes here on the layout, and I can't show you how to do this because it's already done, and I really don't think I'm putting any more water on the layout, but I wanted to at least go over and tell you how I did it, show you a few of the products. So I have two water sections here. All this is basically, it's Woodland Scenics deep pour water. So I use the deep pour. I saw people getting really good results with it, and I kind of like the system. I think the system gave you a lot. Really, it's a two-part epoxy, super simple system to use, and there's a couple of products. But first, like when you start this whole project out, and here I'm on the corner, this fascia wasn't here on this corner. I had styrene taped up against here really well, and then I used some caulk, and I caulked that styrene because it's very important that the area that you are pouring this epoxy in needs to be contained and completely contained. And I had a small leak. I got a little bit of stuff down on the my floor mat that will be there forever, but it is what it is. I caught it in time. So one thing I do want to talk about is on the railroad we use lots of glues. I did a whole video on glue. I use lots of different types of glue. I'll use tacky glue, Elmer's glue, canopy glue. I'll use all kinds of stuff. But when I'm dealing with epoxy and Woodland Scenics, I like to keep the ecosystem together. I've seen people get cloudy results from regular Elmer's glue kind of bleeding up into the epoxy. So when I do this, I like to use, the only glue that's in here is going to be Woodland Scenic glue, and everything that is compatible with like their ecosystem, for lack of a better word. First thing here, I cut away, obviously, I cut away the styrofoam that I had here, and then after you cut away your styrofoam, you need to scenic this. So first things first, I use some of this yellow silt. Alright, this yellow silt is, I'll show you this bottle. This is called undercoat, alright? Before I put the undercoat on here, I did lay plaster all over this whole corner, alright, because I don't want the foam interacting with styrofoam. I have a wood door under here which is going to have wood grain, so I laid some plaster cloth all over this corner, got everything nice and smooth, and then the next thing I did was I went in with the yellow silt undercoat, and that's the bottom, alright? And a lot of people, I feel like, water is blue, and water is blue when you see sun reflect off of it, but if you ever stand next to something like the Delaware River and brackish water, it is usually not blue, especially after you get a rain. It can be really brown and cloudy. I laid down my undercoat, I got all that, and then I got Talus, and you can see some of this Talus here. This Talus comes in like a brown, just like a plain, like a light brown color. I really got like a Midwest kind of vibe to it, definitely not Northeast. I wanted some gray looking kind of granite stone, so I have this little bit of liquid pigment. Again, not acrylic paint, not anything, Woodland Scenics. I wanted to keep everything here like in the Woodland Scenics, matrix. So watered some of this down, put it in a cup, put the Talus in there, shook the Talus around, laid it out on a paper towel, and then you got these really neat variations of brown and gray, and it looks more convincing of something that would be there. And then some of these larger rocks are just hydrocal castings that I've had for a long time, and I dyed them, with the same process as all the other rocks, so everything kind of looked homogeneous in there. All right, and then once I had all of that glued down, not everything else you see here, but just the base scenery on the land, and then the Talus and the rock, and all of that glued down, the rocks placed in the river, then you pour the epoxy in. All right, and the epoxy is, and I don't have any of this left, the two-part epoxy is tinted with just a little bit of the like silty kind of tint to give it, just enough to make it not clear. And the result you get is this result you're seeing here, where it just kind of looks like a muddy river bottom. Very happy with the way that it came out. Now, that dries nice and smooth, everything looks good. only part of it. After you're done there, and I had all this stuff in here, around rocks in a river, you're going to see ripples. Rivers move. And in my railroad and this Belldale, the river is flowing this way, in theory, which is west on the railroad, but south in direction. If you model the PRR, you'll understand that. So I put some water ripples down, and this is water ripples, surface water ripples. This is the product here for another Woodland Scenics product. And this product is pretty cool. I don't know if I can get it open right now without great effort, because it's been closed for a while. But it's just like a clear kind of, I don't know if you can see it in there. It's just like a clear, super wet type of epoxy material. It's almost like a gel, like a jelly. And you just put this on a paintbrush, and you just dab this on the surface where you would want, waves or ripples. And a stiff brush, just dab, dab, dab on the surface. Let that dry. You might have to do this depending on the effect that you're going for and the height of the waves you want. You can actually get like some pretty decent waves out of this. But all I wanted is some ripple stuff running around the rock. That was basically what I was going for. After that dries and cures, then you come in with a little white water highlight. And this white water highlight, pretty cool. This is, again, it kind of looks gray, but you put this on a stiff brush, really take most of it off, and then you're just going to do a light, like a dry brush drag over your ripples that you put in the water, and that's what you're seeing here. And honestly, I wish I even did it a little bit lighter. There are some spots where I got a little heavy, some spots where it looks really, really good. And that gives the effect of just that like white water that's kind of rushing around there. It's something everybody notices. It's only a small corner of the layout, but it's one of these things that people come down here, everybody notices. I love fly fishing. I love fishing. I haven't been fly fishing in quite a while. So I got these Woodland Scenics fly fisherman guys out here. Love these guys, and I have some on the other side. And I'm happy with the way the scene came out. So on the other side, I have a smaller creek, and I just wanted like a scenery break on the corner. A lot of these towns, like Milford, I don't have one over here in Frenchtown. I couldn't put like rivers and creeks all over the place. They had a lot of creeks and rivers that were draining down into the Delaware. So I've got a small one over there on the backside. Really, really cool. All the same techniques. Again, it's important, I think, that you lay your plaster down. You get a nice, solid base to start to get your scenery with. And this was all the same pour from one to the other. The only thing that you'll see here, kind of a cool little thing I did is, again, small details, but I cut the legs off of one of these Woodland Scenics fly fisherman guys, and I have him like standing in the river like he's wearing waders about waist deep. So really kind of like it. It definitely highlights like this portion of the railroad. It lets you know, it gives you like a place that this railroad is by a river and around water. So I think that's important. I think if you're building a railroad where there is water, you probably should figure out how to incorporate that into your modeling. And don't be afraid. I mean, this 2-part epoxy is great. So one last thing before we head out here. This epoxy, it dries like glass. It looks really great. It will scratch, and it will scratch pretty easily. And I haven't scratched this. There might be like a few small like swipes in there, but I've really taken pretty good care of it. The best way to clean it is with this dust dabber, and this is like super cheap. I think this is like $5 at the hobby store. It's probably online too. If I can find a link below to all this stuff, I'll leave links below. But this dust dabber is it's pretty cool. Most people have seen this stuff for cleaning their keyboards. I think this is kind of like a little bit different than that. It's a little wetter. You gotta roll it in your fingers a bit. But I'll just get a little clump of this and just almost like roll it around on the surface, and that takes up all the dust, because you will see dust like crazy. If you're going to see dust here, you'll see dust, and that yeah, it definitely picks up all the dust. This stuff is great for cleaning your roofs, cleaning the roofs on the buildings, you know, picking up all kinds of dust off the layout. So really like this, and again, definitely worth it, and worth investing in if you're going to invest the time and money to put a cool water feature on your layout. All right, so that's it, man. Let me know what you think of the water scene. Let me know if you've tried the deep pour. Again, there's lots of stuff out there, but I think when you see the result that the deep pour gives you, it's definitely worth exploring. I really like it. There's other stuff out there by Woodland Scenics. They make a bunch of water stuff. Then some people make their own, just 2-part epoxy. But again, I think when you're starting to get into glue and you're getting into paint and different types of tints and all of that, to me, I thought prudent to keep everything within the Woodland Scenics ecosystem to make sure everything that went into here was compatible and I didn't wind up with like a cloudy glue streak or anything else that was just completely undesirable that I didn't want. All right, so listen, if you've watched this far, hit that subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, or ring the bell, do all the YouTube things. Like I said, my name is George. This is the Model Railroad Show, and I'll catch you in the next one. All right, bye.